Hey everybody, welcome back. Just been working on a transformation video, and the heaven video. It's a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I've been revisiting the past and going into that transformation. It's brought up a lot of interesting things in my life, and things that I forgot about, things that I repented about. Just people around me also. I've been thinking about the people that I have around me, and just asking the Lord, are these people good? Is these things that I'm doing, is the area that I'm in, is anything dragging me back into other places? And so through all this, I've been praying about the events, and these 3 days of darkness, and so many things. I mean, over the years, writing all this stuff down on tablets, and just looking back even at a lot of those, the things that were written years back, coming true. And I think about these visions and a lot of things that I've seen. I could have warned people, but how do you warn somebody in China? I mean, how do you warn somebody that you wake up and this particular event's happening? So as I was walking with the Lord, I just kept asking him, it's like, why does these things continue to happen? And the interesting thing is, I knew the answer, because obviously you're walking in heaven, you know a lot of it's totally different. And these things, which also will be done in that heaven video, the thing of it is, we see it. That's the whole thing. We see what the government's doing. We question it, but we're not doing anything about it. That's where we're failing. As Christians, we claim to be a Christ follower. We claim we love God and all these things, but what are we doing? We're allowing this transgender stuff to come into the schools. We're allowing these children to be witness to these things and see these things. We're saying it's okay that we don't identify as man or woman. And these people are going in here, they're having their rallies, they're going down. A while back, somebody sent me a video what happened in their city, I guess, in their downtown area. They had this gay rights movement thing come through, and these people are having sex. Sex people. Little kids running around. It's like a parade thing. They're throwing stuff, but it wasn't like candy and stuff. Well, I guess there was candy, but it was more or less other things you can just imagine. Yeah, I was like totally shocked, and I'm thinking to these, and I'm going, where have we gone wrong? I mean, this isn't like a Thanksgiving parade or a Christmas parade or something like that. This is, to me, my mind just can't even wrap around some of this stuff, and we're wondering why society, is turning the way it's turning. We're wondering why people are so depressed, and we're wondering why bully is, people that are bullying people, all these things, that goes on. Where have we gone wrong? This is like Sodom and Gomorrah. We're beyond Exodus. We're right back in Genesis here, right when Noah getting on the ark, and people don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it because we're so busy trying to gain our own selfishness, pridefulness. We are in this era right now that we're boastful about ourselves, lover of ourselves, lover of money. The Bible speaks of all this, and if you can't see it, think about it. The devil's using all these big name movie stars in music. I spoke on this, because if they're wearing it, they're endorsing it, their name's on it, you want it, you got to be like them, you want to be like them, you want to show the world that you're made of money. But you ain't showing the world nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having money, don't get me wrong. Money provides what we need to a point. That's not even going to work, because they got to control us. And And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they've been doing. They've just been testing it in different ways. We can't see this. I spoke last year, and they're going to start cutting jobs, massive. The Lord said massive this year, massive jobs cut. You're going to hear all kinds of stuff. Even Walmart, to Amazon, to postal services. You're going to see all these things which we are seeing, but it's going to be small companies. It's going to be you're going to hear the automobile industry stop making certain vehicles and all this stuff because they're trying to push all this electric garbage in, because people aren't buying these big trucks and people aren't buying these big cars and these SUVs because, let's face it, the gas prices are crazy. But now they're seeing ride shares and all this stuff coming up. You're looking at these Uber drivers and all this stuff. I mean, there was a lady that just got killed for trying to support 4 children at home. The guy took her phone, made her cancel the ride, took her phone, transferred all her money from her bank into his girlfriend's bank, and said, "You're not going to get hurt if you do what I say," and then murdered her. A FedEx driver found her body. We post all kinds of things out here, and again, I'm not going on races because, I don't care. I don't look at the skin color. And if you're black, purple, pink, white, green, I don't care what color you are. If you act ignorant, then you're ignorant. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but I haven't sugarcoated, and I'm not going to start now. I mean, a race is race. It's the ignorance of it. To learn from it, it's to heal from it. Forget about it. There's nothing we can do. We're all in this same boat here. We're going to need each other. It's not about whose race is more of this and that. We could go down the whole calendar of cops and all these things. Well, naturally, these cops are corrupted. Naturally, you're focused on the police officers, but look at our very own government. Come on, people. I mean, we put these people in office. Well, sometimes we don't even put them in the office. We all know the election was fixed. We all hear people speaking about Obama being the president. Well, who do you think's running the country? The same man that ran it 8 years ago. And if you think he's not, then that's okay. I mean, I'm not coming against it. But truly, we know who's running this 4 years, because we're picking right back up where he left off. I'm not saying anything about him. I voted for him. What does that tell you? I can't even remember who ran against him, to be honest with you. And it's not the reason why I voted for him, because he spoke what I thought was going to be good for us. Didn't turn out so well. Donald Trump comes in. Yeah, he's honest. He's upfront with stuff. One thing I disagree with is what he did to truckers and with the pre-deem and all that kind of stuff. It took a big chunk of our money that we could have regained back here, because $69 a day being out here is what they was giving us. And it sounds like a lot of money, but you got to buy food off of that. If you need water, laundry soap, washing clothes, you know how much it costs at these truck stops to wash your clothes? It's freaking ridiculous, people. There was one, I think it was a TA when I was driving OTR, over the road trucking. It was $5 just to wash, and $3 to dry. And guess what? The dryer sucked. So you do the math. I had to do it a couple times. So there's $6 just in drying one single washer. And people think there's nothing wrong with this. You go in there and try to buy a 20-ounce bottle of soda or pop, whatever you want to call it, or soda pop. 3 different ways of looking at it. But you just look at it. I mean, it's like $3-4. I'm like, what are you people thinking? You go over to their fountain machines, and where the where the fountain comes, where the fountain soda and all that stuff mixes and it comes out that nozzle. Well, there's an inject screw up in there. They can turn that where it can make less syrup come out, and that's why your fountain sodas don't taste very well these days, because they're skimming back on everything, and it's ridiculous. Or you go in there and half of them are out, and it's like, yeah, for a refill, to take a cup in there and refill it, it's like $1 something. So it is cheaper than trying to buy these 20 ounces and all this stuff out of there. Showers now, I walked in there and this guy was paying for a shower. It was $20. You're going to charge a freaking truck driver $20 to take a shower. It's insane what a truck driver goes through. Everybody thinks we make all this money. It's not all the glamour in the world. I always tell people, if trucking was easy, everybody would do it. I mean, this is a hard life, people. It truly is. You have to adjust. It's like trying to get used to prison, because you got to get used to a small little confined space. You got to get used to not doing your regular routines in your regular life, and it was a lot in with it. No, I'm not doing all this whole video on trucking. I'm just saying, when all this heroes work here and all this nursing stuff, we got to wear a mask and all. Tell me what. It depends on what you're doing in the hospital. You probably had a mask on anyways. I mean, I don't like the pity stuff. I don't like all this, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's pretty much what a lot of that COVID came to. And it's ridiculous. Don't say COVID, but it's all over the freaking place. Use code words. I'm not using code words. If they want to block it, block it. There's so many other channels out here right now, and so many other things you can download videos and stuff on. I'm not worried about it. If YouTube wants to get like that, then maybe we should all boycott YouTube until they learn it's a common word, that it's all over the news, it's all over everything. So why are we using code words? And it's just crazy. So many videos that people send me, and a lot of them I don't even watch. And it's no disrespect. I appreciate you sending me stuff, but again, I'm not going to be influenced by somebody else's video, or the fact that, there is some that I have gone and commented on because it's crazy what they're talking. And not that I'm right, but I pray. And it doesn't sit well with my spirit. This is how I always know when the Lord's telling me to do something, because it feels like I'm going to pass out. It feels like I'm going to vomit. My stomach gets so in a knots until I actually go and do what he's telling me to do. As soon as I do it, instantly, it all stops. Have you ever been in the situation where you've just felt so uneasy until you did something? Well, most likely that's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. We got to expect war coming. There's no way around it. It's coming. We got to be prepared. And again, it's what you believe or what you don't believe. I've been speaking about California for a long time. I've been speaking about California breaking off like Hawaii. And I'm telling you right now, people think I'm crazy when I say this. You think of the immigrants coming over. Nothing wrong with it, but we got to have places to put people. We just can't allow all these people to come in here when we're not screening it. We don't know if there's diseases. We don't know that, most of the cartel stuff came over. My thing is, why in the world, like ISIS and the cartels, these names keep popping up and up and up and up and up. What in the world? It's an organization. There's only so many people. United States has this big, mighty, powerful military. Go do something. It's the cartel. I understand what they're capable of doing, because nobody's willing to stand up to them. Is not our government, is not our military supposed to serve and protect us? Then why are we such fear over a cartel that they're killing people? It's murder. Can you go out and murder people? Can you go out because someone stole your drugs, go out and shoot them? If you do and you get caught, what happens to you? You go to jail. They're doing it and nothing's happening. Are we allowing people to get raped on the streets? Yes. You do it, what happens? You go to jail. And then bad things are going to happen to you in jail because they love rapers in there. Same thing as hell. Trust me, the last thing you want to do is rape somebody and end up in hell. I can guarantee that. You may think I'm crazy right now, but I'm telling you right now, you have no idea what's awaiting. You have no idea the darkness that's coming. 3 days of darkness, people, we're already in darkness. We're already in so much darkness because we're walking around being deceived. You let your guard down for a split moment and the wrong people get in your life and you're deceived so fast and you fall back into ways that you should have never done. It's happening. It's happening more and more and more and more. Well, I'm not willing to stay here. You know, I've had my fair share and run on this earth, and I sure don't want to go live in hell. And I say live because that's exactly what you're doing, living a total nightmare that you can never wake up from. I told you guys about the food shortages, the rising of things, but you are going to see trickery because they're going to start lowering some stuff because they get us to shut up about it. But then they're going to hit us again. They're going to hit us with things because they know we are naive because we allow ourselves to be naive. We hear truth, but yet we don't want to do anything with it. We're going to leave it to someone else to do, but all we're going to do is moan and groan and complain. Well, the Lord says, why don't they come together and pray? I said, I don't know, Lord, it's a good question. Why don't, because we got all this access right here on YouTube. Why don't we come together and pick a day? You know, we got National Prayer Day. I say every day should be National Prayer Day. I don't like when churches say, today is National Prayer Day. Everybody's going to pray. Pray for what? What do you want me to pray for? Because you try to tell me who to vote for. You know, and that's the other thing. These churches were telling people, vote for this, vote that. Isn't that not stacking the ballots too? When someone tells you how to vote? How many people did it? How many people went out and voted because their pastors told them to vote a certain way? Is that not wrong? Is that not controlling you? Man, people, we're in a seriously sad time. Think about Social Security. They're trying to raise Social Security to 70 now. They tried to get 72, but that flopped. They're trying to get 70. You know why? Because they're going to keep raising it. Our generation right now, what we're living in, you think about the kids living under us. Look at them. They sit at home. They claim to have anxiety attacks. They're claiming to have all these things. What happens if something happens to you? Who's going to take care of these little, and they're not even adults at this point, they're little children because they refuse to grow up. But I don't just blame them. I blame the people. I blame the parents, and I blame whoever's over these kids that are allowing this stuff. There's no jobs. They walk into jobs. They walk out of jobs because, oh, I'm not doing this. Well, let me tell you right now, McDonald's got me through a heck of a situation, and it got me a steady paycheck, even though, yes, I think it was every 2 weeks I got paid at McDonald's. And I was young, but at least I had money. Compared to you sitting at home and complaining about everything. Well, I don't have this, I don't have that, because you refuse to get up and do something with your life. You're not going to be able to survive. These kids that sit there on their phones, sit there playing video games, what are you going to do when it all shuts off? It's coming. It's coming. What are you going to do? It doesn't matter if you got gold. Doesn't matter if you're vested in silver. What are you going to do when the power grids go totally off and everything gets erased? What are you going to do when you refuse to take a chip? Or are you going to refuse? Because you're going to start seeing everything that's going on. Hold on a second. Anyways, I'll pick back up from this because I got to take this call. So be looking for a part 2 on this.